All right. You cannot talk about Florida basketball, especially AAU, and not bring up the Tallahassee Wildcats. One of the best programs, if not the best program ever in the state of Florida, AAU programs. I know my homies in Duval with the Lee Bulls. They're gonna argue with me about that, but you cannot bring up AAU basketball in Florida and not talk about the Tallahassee Wildcats. And we got the founder of it on today, Mr. John Adkins, in the building. So appreciate you for being on Florida Hoop Legends, boss.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Glad to be here.
For sure. I know. I just thought about that, Chris. I know Jamon and all them guys are gonna be like Lee Bulls. TJ and them guys. But TJ played with the Wildcats too, though.
Yeah. They already know who's better, man.
It's definitely gonna be a big debate about this when this come out, man.
They were very good, man. We had some good games.
Sure. Man. So let's start from the beginning, man. What led you to start the program?
Well, I'll be honest with you. My oldest son was a good football player. He was about 12 or 13 years old, and he had a tendency to get heavy in the off season, and he liked basketball a lot too. So I just started it up, a little local program, and kind of took off, and we played well, and we got Kwame Brown to come over and play with us some. And next thing you know, I've got we ended up with the Adidas team out of Florida. So that's really how I got started.
So it was just a local team, and it just
it was at first, yeah, sure was.
So do you remember the climate of the AAU circuit back then? Because it's not like it is now, like how big the Florida Rebels is and the Night Riders and all that other stuff. Like, do you remember
way were different, man? Not like now. You don't back then. We could load a team up with 8 or 10 4- and 5-star guys. There wasn't 1,000 teams, and there wasn't 30 tournaments to play in every weekend. Us and at that particular time, Eric Austin from Coast to Coast. You know Eric?
Yep.
And then also Nike Team Florida. We were the only teams in Florida that really traveled. So, there's just some local teams, and there wasn't all these tournaments. So you wanted to be, we would turn away amazing kids, that wanted to play, because we were getting from, I was up in Tallahassee, but we were shooting from Homestead up to Tallahassee and Atlanta. I had Josh Powell play for us, that played in the NBA for several years. I had Stanley Robinson from Alabama that went to UConn. It was we could just kind of pick and choose back in those days.
Wow.
Hold on, Chris. Let me ask a question, because I like origin stories. I'm a big Marvel fan. I'm a nerd at heart. Right. So you said you started it for your son, but let's get into your background. Were you a ball player?
Not really, not anything special. I didn't play in college or anything like that at all. Nothing special. Just always loved basketball, and I kind of was just in the right place at the right time when that AAU thing came around. Actually, Tommy Ostrom, do you know T.O.? He was an assistant with Billy, Florida, for a long time, and he was real involved with Sonny Vaccaro.
Yep.
And then it was Jackie Pons out of some of those old timer guys that just said, "Why don't you take your team and play in this Las Vegas tournament for Adidas?" So we had a tryout, and that's the first time I really got away from the local kids, and we took that team out there. And from then, we were Adidas for 2 years, and then went over at Nike. And then when I had Darius, he was such an Adidas guy, we came back. and then the last year I lived in Florida, or last year I had a team, we did Reebok. So we had about all of them, that we went through there with at some point in time.
Gotcha. So Florida being known as a football state, did you realize how much of a gold mine it was with basketball talent back then?
When I first started, not really. I love football and college football and all that, but I tell you when I started picking up on, I had Mike Williams that went to USC.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I had and I had Ryan Moore that went to I don't want to say
Phillips,
Miami. Yeah. But anyway, when Coach Bowden and them guys, but when Coach Bowden would call me in, wanted to recruit them guys and this and that, then I realized, that just how big football was over basketball. But basketball has still always been pretty popular. Just had to go to the right spot.
Yeah. Yeah, that was that. Cause did you realize like how big even the Tallahassee Wildcats had got locally? Cause I remember you guys, people used to want to come to y'all practices.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when certain players was in town, because I remember when Ryan, you just bought up Ryan. Ryan actually, I remember he caught a ball off the rim on my cousin Terrell Blair. And I
Did
remember everybody was like, oh, like, yeah, the practice used to be crazy.
Yeah, yeah, they were, man. We had practice one time. I used to be an assistant at Tallahassee Community College, and we brought a team into scrimmage, and there we had Kwame Brown and Bobbitt and Marcus Barnes and Charles Frederick and I mean, you name it, man. It was like a McDonald's All-Star game up in there.
History.
Yeah.
I went to an open run you guys had. I don't know if you remember. It was at Arbondale High School. I don't even know why you guys were at Arbondale for so, but it
Probably
was
because of
With-
Alex.
Probably
Yeah.
Alex Blair, but you know, with Daryl Richard, you probably know Daryl. He's Strip's uncle, and he's a big Polk County guy. So when we first started, we tried to Central, because I was all the way up in Tallahassee, but most of the players were not. So we would come down. A lot of times we practice. You could practice on campus, and we practice at USF, or we practice at some of the high schools down that way and stuff.
Yeah, that was a good run. It had, Chris, it had everybody. It was TJ. I came with TJ. It was TJ, Darius, Alex, Ron.
Yeah.
Both Alexes, Alex Blair and Alex
Blair
and Gordon.
Yeah. Oh, Gordon, okay.
Gordon was there too.
He's a good kid. You any idea what he does these days?
Man, no. I know somebody who knows him, but they say he's doing well, but I don't know.
I think Amari says he's down here. I got to talk with AJ. I think
down
Amari
here where? In Tampa?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he is? Okay.
He's a great kid, man. He was such a good leader. That was a very strange team. That year we had no bigs. We had Darius, Torian Green, Cornelius, Alex Gordon, and a kid named Tom Hammond, whose dad was a big-time player, and he was really good. And we had John Mason, who's the coach over at Edgewater now. We were loaded up with guards, but we couldn't beat any. We had no size.
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought up John. I talked to him yesterday. You know, I'm Edgewater. I was their ball boy when Marquise Daniels and Nigel Dixon was there. So ever since I was in the 5th grade, I'm Edgewater to the death of me. And John told me something 2 days ago. He said, man, I didn't play much for the Wildcats, but I sat and I learned. And he was basically saying how he knew his role and how he knew he was going to be a coach. So tell me about John a little bit, if you remember.
He was a super, super nice kid, very quiet back in those days.
Yeah.
He was a good shooter. We just had, if he'd have played for me a different year, he might have been a star. But like I said, we just had all those guards, and he was really, really skinny back then. That was his biggest problem. He could shoot it now. He could shoot it, and I'm not surprised he ended up coaching, because he's a real smart kid. Him and his family is real nice. And
he took Edgewater to the finals his first year.
I know. That's strong.
And now Darius' son is back. So
is he back?
Ooh, he's the truth too. He hit a growth spurt. I want to give some exclusive. I'm gonna tell you off camera, but we got some schools on them right now. We got
I still talk to Big D a lot.
I love Big D, man. He's a character, man.
He's one of the people that don't know him won't understand, but he is one of the most loyal. I mean, he's just he and I have a great relationship. He's one of the best people I know.
For sure.
Yeah, because speaking of, you had brought up Auburndale and being in Polk County, Jamon Gordon says every region is pretty much known for something, and he was saying people love athletes out of Polk County because they have the size. Mm-hmm. He was saying like if you want to find a long wing, you go look in Polk County.
Yeah,
and like did you back then? I mean, because I know you had Alex and you definitely had Strib and stuff. Was that a thing back then where you be like, I knew I can find length out of Polk County?
Yeah, there was just athletes there all the time, man, and a lot of uncut diamonds there because they wasn't getting a lot of publicity. Mm-hmm. And we had I had Rashad Anderson from down that way. And I had, trying to think who else,
Chris
McKiskell. Chris Richards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. McKiskell could go. He just he was a different kind of cat. he could go with that. And Stribben was a great athlete too.
Yeah.
But I was always looking for good kids. You know, if I had problems with a kid, we didn't keep him around too long. We spent so much time together, and I tried to build a kind of a Christian-based thing. I tried to build a family-type atmosphere, and I still taught to a lot of those kids, you know, and it's just it's a real honor.
Yeah.
I'm blessed to get to still talk to a lot of them.
Yeah, I'm definitely like a research junkie, and just from being up there, like I said, I remember a lot of the players and stuff.
You
And
played with Tallahassee, Chris? You played with them?
well, I was on the BT with Barry
Oh,
Taylor. We had I forgot what our AAU team ended up being. We went to Bob Gibbons with Barry, me, Frank Young, Rail. We had a kid from Clearwater. I think it was the Tallahassee crossovers, and then it changed to the Tallahassee Hoops, or Capital City crossovers, or something like that.
got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who you say coached him? Coach Taylor?
Barry Taylor, yup.
Yeah.
I was on the BT. Yeah. So when you pretty much so like I said, I researched you guys. The '02 year, would you say that was probably like you guys' best year in the circuit? When
Who do we
y'all went
have
like
that year?
51-8 or something like that?
Who do we have? Who did I have in '02?
I think that's the first year CI played with you. You had CI and Darius.
Darius
Y'all
didn't
went
play in
like
'02. He ain't playing '02.
nah.
Yeah.
He was on the thing. 'Cause I think y'all finished like number 8 in the country.
Now, is that might be the year when I picked up? Was Darius a ninth grader then?
Darius ninth grade 2000.
Yeah, he would have been a sophomore '02 summer.
I feel
So
like Darius played
okay.
later on. Like,
Oh yeah. So I think that might be because Darius picked up a tournament with me late his ninth grade
yeah,
year when I had Rashad and a big fella named Kevin Young from South Florida and a lot of those guys, and then. Darius played for me the 2 years after that. He played with Cornelius both those years, but I think the '02 year might be the year I had. This might be the year I had Ronaldo Balkman, and because
I forget about him.
yeah, because Darius played, and
I think you had Ryan Reed too.
okay, I start saying so. If that's the team you're talking about, Darius didn't play.
Yeah,
we were really good that year. We had Murphy and Alonzo G.
Yes,
And
that year.
Yeah, we were super good. We were actually Adidas national champs that year.
Murphy was on that team?
Yes.
Hey, people forget about Murphy, man.
We got it. You know, I live in Huntington, West Virginia now. We got him up at Marshall because he had grade trouble, and they had that Prop 48. But his knee got real bulky on him. If he could have broke all kinds of records up here if he'd have been healthy. Man.
He gave us, I want to say, almost 40 at Edgewater his freshman year at Lake Mary or Seminole. Yeah, he was killing us.
Yeah,
we won, of course, but man,
that's how it was. Like I tell people all the time, Cornelius Ingram the best guard I ever played against. Like we beat them, but he had 48 on us.
Yeah,
like,
he's tough.
Yeah. See, he was strong.
That year you're talking about in '02, we had 5 post players that year. Because one of them was kind of a 3-4, but I had Hyman Taylor that went to Virginia Tech. And Ryan Reed, who went to Florida State. Sutton, you remember Jimmy Sutton?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
He went to Florida. Abdul Herrera, that went up. He was like 7 foot. He went up and played for Huggins when he was at Kansas State. And then a kid named Kyle Marks that went to Nebraska. I mean, we had so much depth in the post, and we weren't all, you know, that at that time it hadn't really become all the 3-point game yet. And we were just physical and could really. And then we had Alonzo and we had Murphy. Ruoff started with us that year, and then he quit AAU. You remember Alex?
Yeah.
Went to West Virginia.
Yep.
Yeah. We were loaded that year, but we beat Gerald Green's team in the Adidas finals that year. I think he only had like 2 points against. He had a rough game. Alonzo kind of locked him down.
I literally just read that because I believe that tournament they had the Houston Hoops as the favorite to win the thing, and they end up losing. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
I want to ask you this because I love sports, but me being an agent now, I'm a businessman at heart too. So, and you are as well, because ultimately building the AAU program, you're a GM to a certain extent, right?
Right.
So what is your thought process when you're picking the team and molding it?
Well, I like to have one. You asked me about the best team. One of the best teams I ever had was the year I had Rashad Anderson. We won like 5 or 6 tournaments that year. We lost. That's back when the AAU Nationals were big. And we lost to Boo Williams in like the quarter or the semis back when they had J.J. Redick, and they were loaded.
And
But
y'all
anyway,
lost to them in the Elite Eight.
yes.
Yep.
But we everybody on that team knew their role. You know, Rashad was a scorer, a shooter. Ryan Moore was a secondary guy. I had a kid, Ishmael Njai, who was a lockdown defender. We had a couple of bigs that could rebound, and that's kind of what I look for. I always look for. I really like defense. You know, I'm looking for some guys who can play defense, and then I want in today's game. I do a team up here in Kentucky now, and I'm looking for more shooters and 3-and-D wings. So it's changed to that respect. But I'm really looking for kids that can fill roles. It's really hard in the AU to have 10 guys that all want to score 30 points a game like they do on their high school team.
Yeah, it's different. I coach 6th grade, and it's getting worse. That age group too is crazy. They just want to shoot threes.
Now, are you tied in with Dwayne Foreman at all?
Oh yeah, I talk to Dwayne probably once a month for sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
because he played for us too, and
Dwayne was. I didn't know that.
And he has we played a tournament somewhere, maybe Indianapolis, in the I think one of the live periods, and we played his 15U team.
That's beautiful. I always tell people Dwayne was small, but he's one of the most underrated guards in Florida because
he was good.
He can handle the rock. He was quick. He went to a Popka at Edgewater. We used to beat him. He just didn't have enough firepower with him. But man, that lefty, I wouldn't say he is good as TJ, but they're close to each other.
TJ was just so good at passing.
Yes.
But sometimes you'd have to get on him because teams would start playing him to pass.
Yeah.
And and then he'd get in that lane and he'd get stuck. But because he could finish. It was just a matter of trying to get him to do that. And a kid from Polk County they called him Pop. And I think his name was I can't remember his name. He was the same age, James Taylor, right?
Yeah, yep.
JT. Yep. He went to high school with them guys and Stribling and all them. That was the best passer I ever saw, man. But he was always into something. I think he ended up in prison, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna look him up.
I can't remember his name.
Sometimes I'm getting older now. I forget, but I got to see people, and then I oh, okay,
yeah. But man, he was he's something else. And he was on that team with Rashad and him too. He was my point guard.
So I got to give you a hard question, a few hard ones, man. Okay. So who would you say is the best player to put on a Wildcats uniform?
Man, you're gonna put me on the spot.
It's so many though.
I had Amare when he was younger.
Okay.
And I had Kwame, but I'm going to give you 3 names that play the best for me because Kwame was part-time for me and Amare also. So I had Darius, obviously, and I thought Tony Bobbitt was an unbelievable player. He had, his personal life issues with his mom passing away and all that. And I still talked to him a good bit. If he wouldn't have had those issues, I still think he could have been one of the 2 or 3 best players that ever come out of Florida. And then who was the other one I was going to say? Oh, Charles Frederick.
I don't know that. What?
He went to Pope John Paul, I think it's called, down in West Palm Beach. Gotcha. And he ended up, the reason people don't know who he is because he played football for University of Washington college. Gotcha. Unbelievable basketball player, man. Just me and Jackie Manning were talking about him not too long ago because he played with Jackie on that AAU team. He would just destroy, like Mo Williams and some of those guys we play out in Vegas and California and stuff that went on in the NBA. He would just destroy those guys, man. He was so fast and so strong, and he could gorilla dunk at about 6 foot and shoot from 25 feet. He was just an amazing player, man.
Dang.
You need to look him up.
Yeah, what's the name again? I'm writing it down right now.
Charles Frederick.
Charles Frederick.
Yeah.
Yeah. For somebody on your level that saw the best of the best, a lot of people, because I graduated in 2003. Like, I'm in the same class with like Frank Young and all them.
Frank played with us too.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my class. would you say the Atlanta Celtics is probably the best AAU team that you've seen?
You talking about that
With
one particular year?
with Dwight Howard, Josh
Yeah.
Smith,
They just
Crenton.
ranked the top 20 AAU programs in the nation. I just saw it yesterday, and Atlanta Celtics was like number 4.
For this season or all
No,
time?
just of
Or
all
Oh,
time.
all time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Atlanta
they had
Celtics.
Randolph
Number
Morris on
1
that team.
Yeah,
was,
I'm gonna say Randolph Morris too. That
yep,
went to
Yeah.
yeah.
Their guard play wasn't great though. But they
yeah.
picked up that kid from from Florida. What was his name? Cliff. Was it
Mm,
Clinks? Clinks. He was down there. There was a prep school down in Florida at that time, somewhere around the Ocala area. I can't remember what it was
gotcha.
called. And he was their point guard. And he went up there and he helped them. They were really good. Now we had great rivalries with the Celtics. I really liked Wallace Prather and all those guys. We were close, but probably the best AU team that I saw that I never played was they had Josh McRoberts was the 11th grader, and Odin and Daquan Cook and Conley all played up a
Ooh.
year to play with him, and they were stacked. And the best team I probably ever played against, we played Kevin Love's team out in
Yeah, they were on the
Vegas.
list. They were
Yeah,
on.
they had him and Brandon Jennings,
Yep.
and they were loaded
Wow.
up and down with pros. They were really good too.
The number 1
Yeah,
team they had, I forgot the name, but it was Kobe, Rip Hamilton, Tim Thomas. They added Vince Carter on there, but he probably just played 1 year with them.
Yeah, that was a fair team
yeah.
right there. Yeah,
He had a monster. He had a monster team like 2 years that we was in the circuit. Tim Thomas
yeah.
players.
Tim
Tim
Thomas
Thomas.
players.
Tim
Yeah,
Thomas kept a stick. But
yeah,
yeah, the best I probably ever saw was the California team that LeBron joined with Leon Poole,
yeah,
Kendrick Perkins, and them.
Oh, yeah, they were on there too. They were on.
yeah,
That was a cheating squad, bro.
yeah, yeah.
And I think they lost to Boo Williams too. I think JJ Redick beat them too.
Did he?
In
Yeah,
01 summer.
yeah. But we had a lot of good teams, man. We had Spates rolled through there. He was on one of my last teams.
Mm.
We had a lot of great players down. I had a lot of great guys that helped me coach. Terry Lucas, I don't know if you know him. He was with me for probably almost the whole time I was down there in Florida. And Daryl Richard helped me coach. Big D helped me coach. I had a lot. And Eli, the year that Franklin played, Eli helped me coach.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
And also Travis Jones, who was at Edgewater. He
Coach
helped
Jones.
me. Yeah.
I love Coach Jones. He was my 5th grade elementary school teacher.
Where's he at now?
Man, last time I saw him was 2017. But they told me he came to an Edgewater game last year, so he's still in Orlando.
Yeah, he was a good dude.
Yeah, he switches number every 2 years, so I got to find
Does he? And then we had little Ramka running around with us.
Great times, man.
Yeah, a lot of fun, man. We had a lot of.
So we can't talk about the Wildcats without bringing up the rivalries with the Lee Bulls and Fast Break.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's impossible to talk AAU basketball without the big three, because that was the big three in Florida. Everybody else was just looking up to y'all, man. So what would you
hold on before you go into that? I feel like I played for Saucer, so I played with Darius.
So you played with Darius on that team, yeah.
Yeah. So when we was young though, but I guess I don't even remember the Tallahassee day because we started.
Weren't.
Okay.
Now, well, I take that back. Is that the team that? So Cornelius started playing for my son when he was in I was still doing 17, but Cornelius started a team like he was in 7th grade, and I think we played that Soysa team.
Yeah, we were around that time. So first we started off.
Oh yeah, that's the
Orlando
younger
Raptors.
Oh, you're talking about the younger. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't coach him, but my son coached him.
Calatha's dad started the Raptors. So we started with
they
the
were
Raptors.
good, man.
We had a squad. Torian Green, Darius. I was the best 8th man in the country, though.
Yeah,
you know
I understand that on that.
So it was us, and then we went to Saucer until about 10th grade, maybe 9th grade. And then Darius just started playing with everybody fast break.
Yeah. Now he played with the fast break that 9th grade year, and he came to me at the end, and then he stayed with me the 10th and now he still might have been his 10th or 11th grade year. He still went out to Vegas with that bunch
Yep.
And because he had to miss most of a tournament with me, he was out there playing with them.
Yeah, he
They
played with
had,
us sometime 12th grade too. He kept loyal with us and
yeah, he
continued to
did.
play with us.
His dad's a super loyal guy. But
Mhm.
but that was a great rivalry. Now I remember one year that was the Final Four, and we beat somebody, and Lee Bulls beat Amare and them fast break,
Ooh.
and then we turned around and beat the Lee Bulls in the finals.
Man,
Yeah,
Chris, I always tell Chris he missed the greatest AAU moment. That year, Chris wasn't there though. That's
Nah,
the greatest
I was on
AAU
crutches that year.
tournament ever I've
yeah,
ever witnessed.
that was a good one, man. That was a
Man, because
good.
Lee Bulls beat Fast Break. Then
Yeah.
you had some controversy with TJ and Eric Payton. And then it was just a lot going on that weekend. It was crazy.
Now the year before that, maybe, or I don't remember the Bulls over. It was the year my son died because we had just picked up TJ Bannister,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a lot of friction between him and the Lee Bulls, and we played them in the semifinals over at some high school gym down there, and we were going to have to play Jason Rich's team in the finals, and we were beating them by 10, 12, 14 points with like a minute left in the game, and an enormous brawl broke
That
out.
fight broke out with everybody
That
talking about,
fight,
yeah.
and they double forfeited both of us out, so
Dang.
we didn't even get to play in the finals.
Who
Yeah,
did Jason
that
Rich play for?
no, he played for Fast Break or whatever they were called. I think it was
Oh, yeah.
Nike Florida at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah. So we didn't get to play in the finals. That was a really good team we had. I think that was the year I had Balkman and Chris, and there wasn't nobody in the state fixing to beat us that year.
Yeah.
But we got forfeited out, so we didn't get to play in it. It was unfortunate.
Yeah. Do you still keep up with the Florida AAU circuit now? Like with
Not
the
too
Night
much.
Riders?
Yeah, I know Darius three plays down. Who's he play? He plays for some team down in South Florida.
Soho, what they call it?
That's the
Soho.
UA team.
Yeah, it's
And then,
Adidas
but
team.
not too much really. Like I said, I'm up here in Kentucky now, and I keep up with that real close.
Yeah. Have you got a chance to watch Cam Boozer play yet? Carlos Boozer
I've seen him. Yeah, he's nice.
You think he's special?
Oh yeah, for sure. For
Chris
sure.
thinks he's the best player ever out of Florida right now already.
I said when
And
he
I can't
graduates,
give him that. I can't give him that.
I said when he graduates, he gonna have the resume because you got to think he was
his
the national
resume.
player. He was the national player of the year in the 10th grade.
Yeah.
Like
Is
and he's gonna have 4 rings.
Wow. Yeah. Is he a tough kid? I don't know him like that.
I
Is
don't
he
know
like?
him either.
No, I haven't met him personally. I always go watch him play in Lakeland. I've seen him all 3 years so far in Lakeland, and he got another year left. But
Yeah.
if he ends up being a top 3 pick with 4 rings, national player of the year, he got all the accolades. That the only thing now he got to go up to that next level in the NBA. But right now on the high school level, his resume matches up with anybody.
Yeah, that's right. Now that you say that, yeah, you're right. If
Yeah.
he's won National Player of the Year, he have 4 championships. Well, how many Mr. Floridas does he have?
2. He won the last 2.
He'll probably win another one. Yeah, his resume crazy.
Like when I was talking about the best players that ever played I was talking about the kids that actually played for me.
That's what I asked you on your end. But I was just wondering how you thought about Cam.
Yeah, he's good. He's good, man. No doubt. No doubt.
So I know you named Charles Frederick as one of the best, but if you had to say who's your most underrated player, would that be your same answer?
Well, either him or I'd have to put Rashad Anderson in that category too. Because even though he was top 50 or 60, I thought he should have been a McDonald's All-American, personally. So I would put him in that category too.
He'll love to hear that, man.
He's one of the best kids I ever coached too, man.
Yeah, I talked to him this week, man. That's my guy, man.
Is he? That's good.
And another, Jamon Gordon always he said way back then, he said the Lee Bulls and the Tallahassee Wildcats should have combined, and they would have been the best AAU team.
He just
in the
told us
country.
that last week.
Probably, but we'd have had to have 2 or 3 teams.
Yeah, that's too many. Like,
that
who do
what
you
I
cut?
told him. I said that's a
Yeah.
lot of talent to put in one,
Yeah.
you know, in one room.
Yes. We used to pull a lot of kids from ACDC. Rex Morgan, God rest his soul. He was a great guy. And
I
yeah.
love Rex, man. You might
Yeah.
make me cry. I don't want to cry, but I love Rex. That was my guy.
I was watching
Yeah.
YouTube the other day, and they had Jacksonville and UCLA's final. Back, what
Oh.
was it, 70 or 71 or whatever? Rex was out there making shots, man.
Yeah. Rex had a squad, man. Yomis. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Crazy. Barry Gordon. Jordan. What it was, Jordan?
Yeah, Barry played for us, too.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Hey man, you was stealing all the Lee Bulls.
Oh, yeah. Well, Rex, you know, I get a lot of kids from ACDS, man. We got a lot of kids from over there. You know.
Wow. But yeah, man.
You know,
What was your recruiting style? Because I know as an agent, I got to recruit. I'm talking to the parents. I'm talking to the players. I just got to be in front of people all the time. Like, how did you recruit?
I was a businessman, and selling was a big part of what I did. So
yeah, I love sales.
I still sell stuff. It was just, and we had a lot to offer then. You know, we could pay for everything back in those days, and there wasn't many teams. If I liked a player at that like OG down at Gainesville High, and I wanted to gear that school up, I could go in there and gear that school up, and you know, and that kid better play for us. You know, and I had that happen. I had that happen once where we geared them up and they didn't play, and so you know we never would go back into that school. But it's just, you know, that makes it pretty easy to get a kid if you can go in and say I pay for everything, and you can tell the high school coach we're going to put shoes and backpacks and everything on your team and stuff. You know, that's a huge advantage. I don't know, up here with the Kentucky deal, we're not on any kind of major circuit, so I don't know if they still do that now or not. But back in
they do. Because we're a Nike team, so and I used to love that, man. In high school, we had Adidas, so we had all the book bags, the shoe. We had 4 pair of shoes, jackets, everything because of Darius. I always loved Darius.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, that was from you. Okay, my bad. Exclusive news.
It's just because we were Adidas. Yeah, we thought, but now Big D was huge with Adidas, man.
Yeah, and then when we played Sebastian, they had better stuff than us. I'm like, hold on, man. We were looking at the stuff they had.
You know, he wanted to play. Them boys wanted to play together once. They were going to play with us. Sebastian was going to play for us, and Nike wouldn't let me bring him.
For real? But Sebastian was Adidas his senior year, though.
He was Adidas pretty much all the way through.
Oh yeah, he was because he signed with Adidas.
Yep. It's the year that we were on Nike. And
got you.
They didn't want, the stuff was a little bit different back then, and they didn't want me to bring him, so I didn't.
Dang, that would be crazy.
The politics.
Sebastian and D Wash.
So what you?
Man. Yeah.
So what you doing AAU back then and AAU now? Would you say NIL and all that stuff has an impact today compared to what it could have been back then?
I mean, back then, it was, you know, they could go pro out of high school. So it was, we'll just say there might have been, I never got involved in it. I didn't need to. It wasn't my place. But there was a lot of probably under the table, low key NIL going on back in those days.
That's not, I know for a fact it is. I already know it was.
Yeah. Yeah, because it used to be crazy how you would see like such and such was playing with this team now, but it was always under a certain brand. It was a big negotiation thing, but I think everybody knew LeBron was still gonna sign with Nike. That was all you ever saw him in. Like him, even Lenny Cook, even though he didn't progress to that.
LeBron was with Adidas for a time though. He was with
I thought when we seen him in with KP the River,
like his 11th grade year.
LeBron was Adidas.
Yeah, he was Adidas, bro. Yeah.
Dang, I don't know why I thought it was Nike.
Now he may have played a little bit with Nike.
Yeah.
Maybe, but he was Adidas.
When Sonny was at Adidas, everybody was Adidas, bro.
Yeah, Adidas was bigger than Nike then.
Yeah.
Not the shoe brand, but just the circuits.
In the circuit. Yeah.
We played Lenny Cook up in rumble the Bronx and beat. He played for who was that team he played for? We beat them up there. Rashad went off, man. He must have had 30, 40 points against them boys, and we beat them.
When I was younger, you reminded me of Sonny. I don't know. I just thought you were like a Sonny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
it was
the energy you had. I don't
and
know.
it was a myth. It was a whole myth about like they were like the guy from the Tallahassee Wildcats could get anybody on the team. Like it was just that's how we viewed it as kids. You know what I'm saying?
I never had Sonny's money, man.
Yeah, a lot of us don't.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But we're doing the little thing up here in Kentucky now. I named. I don't know if you know the whole story about my son getting killed down there in Florida back in 2002. That's one of the main reasons I moved back home. But I named the team. We call it Matt's Mustangs up here. His name was Matt, and it stands for Ministering to Athletes through Team Sports. And we've done well. We had there was a 5-year run there where we had 4 of the Mr. Basketballs in Kentucky. So we've had we've had a good run up here too. It's just a little different. There's a lot of good players here, but down there, you had athletes on every corner. You don't have that up here. There's just.
But I heard Kentucky is like a diehard state. Give us an insight on Kentucky basketball.
Kentucky basketball is good. They play all the time. They love the game. They're really good shooters, smart, fundamental. We don't have the athletes.
Gotcha.
So we don't have near as many people.
Yeah, that's true.
But we just don't have 16 guys with 42-inch vertical jumps up here.
Yeah. That's why I said when Cam Newton was like, Florida don't have the athlete that Georgia have, I was like, he's crazy. Like,
he's crazy.
Yeah, he's crazy. Yeah, you remember Cam Newton talked about he was saying
I thought he just said they got better athletes, not the like I ain't know he dissed us.
Nah,
like
he was saying he was talking about Georgia having more athletes than Florida. That's why it was this big back and forth thing with a bunch of Florida athletes. Yeah, he don't. Yeah, like
me being in Georgia,
you can make an all-American team in Florida just all the guys who just chose not to play. They just wanted to play football. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people forget guys like Cornelius Ingram could have been probably NBA guy that year. Anquan Bowl, Peter Ward. All these boys was humongous athletes on the basketball court, elite.
So Mike Williams was really good too, man.
I heard that. Yeah,
really good. Yep. And he had that. You talk about having that dog in him. He told when we played. I won't curse, but when we played Lenny Cook's team up there, he told Lenny. He said, "If you dunk on me, I'm gonna effing kick your A." Lenny took himself out in the second half of that game. Didn't even play.
Wow. Mike had size on him too.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Mike. Yeah.
And he could jump, man. He could play.
What high school did he go to?
Tampa Plant.
Okay.
Plant. Yeah.
He went to Plant.
Him and do you know Tyler Azzarelli? He played a guard for us on that same team, and I know he coached at like some different schools. He played at Monmouth, and then he coached some D1 as his assistant. I don't know what he's doing now, but he was a good, solid player too.
Yeah,
they played together at Plant.
Well, yeah, man. Well, yeah, we definitely don't want to hold you long, Coach, man. I just want to let you know, like, when it comes to Florida basketball, like, you definitely are a legend, man. You definitely deserve your flowers. That's why I definitely reached out to you so I can get you on the show just to reach back and talk about, some of the old times and stuff. Because, like I said, I hate to say, give you so much credit, but it's hard. Like, when I think about AAU as a kid, it starts with the Tallahassee Wildcats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The Lee Bulls, those two.
Yeah.
And breakdown is still going now though. So they had a crazy run.
We played Under Armour. We played Under Armour. We're not this year, but I ran into Kenny and Breon and them guys a few times. Yeah. Gerald played for us. He played on that state young team. He played with Cornelius when they were like 7th, 8th grade. Gerald was a good player. He was ranked real high when he was young.
Yeah, he was. Dang. Where he end up going to school?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I
don't remember where he went.
Yeah. But yeah, he's in my class with Darius and Cornelius. And,
Oh
Those kids were.
yeah, Ron. Yeah, Ron too.
Yeah, Ron was on that team. Ron, one of my
Yeah.
favorite guards ever too. Ron, he was cerebral out
Yeah,
there.
very much so. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, I really appreciate you bringing me on. Anytime, it's a pleasure talking to you guys.
I will appreciate you, Coach. I know when we launch this one, everybody's gonna be like, how we get you on? And
Yeah.
you know, people haven't seen you in a while. So I can't wait to let people know we did this. But like Chris said, once again, we appreciate you. We started this platform to really give individuals who has built the culture of Florida basketball. And I know you may be a little humble, but we're gonna brag for you. We're gonna be your Flavor Flav, the Chuck D, right?
I appreciate it.
We're gonna be your hype man, because if it was a Mount Rushmore in Florida, you definitely will be on it.
Well, thank you. And gotta give props to my wife too, man, because she let me do it, and she'd run here, run there, and pick up kids for me, and Teen Mom. We had Kwame live with me for a while. I mean, we did that quite a bit. So I give her some props too.
Yeah.
It's definitely a team effort.
100%.
Yeah. Me coaching now 6th grade, it's like, man, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's
me being an agent and coaching basketball is just a lot. So you definitely need a team to do it. So appreciate
my
you.
youngest son now, Brock, he was little when we moved, but he coaches middle school now, and he's wanting to get into. He helps me coach AAU up here, and he's wanting to get into some type of college coaching too. So we may be around a minute or two yet.
Oh yeah. You a basketball family. You can't go nowhere. I was telling Chris always to talk about it. All we do is talk about basketball all day. I'm addicted to the game. Like I watch 6th grade to NBA to women's basketball. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna watch it.
Same.
So appreciate you, Coach, man.
Definitely appreciate you, man. And
absolutely.
Again, anybody that's tapped in, if you're watching, please like, subscribe to the podcast, Florida Hoop Legends, where we honor people that built and paved the way for Florida culture and the culture of Florida basketball. We got many more hoop legends to come. So appreciate anybody that's tuning in right now, and we'll see you guys next week. Love.
Appreciate you, man. Y'all take care.
You too, man.